You're not.
Oh, the Olympics are on. Let's watch. What do we got here? Ooh, handball is fun. France against.
You're
I
not.
think
You're
that
not watching women's boxing that got canceled.
I didn't get canceled. That bitch quit because she got her ass whooped.
By a
My
man.
name is Rod.
By
Yeah, that shit's gotta stop.
you go away. You go away. Hey.
I don't know.
Let's
I don't
get
know
this started, and we could talk about it in 10.
Yeah.
Welcome, episode 393, Midsummer Catch Up. What's up, boys?
Nothing.
In a minute.
The Mets are back alive since the last time we did a show.
You know what that means? We're going over on this road trip right now. We're about to go on the longest over of our lives. It's gonna be the worst.
Oh
road
my
trip.
God, Mets! The Grimace Mets.
The Grimace.
Gay
my
Mets.
God, gay Mets. We'll never be stopped.
Vin and I
Well,
already discussed it. Danny, we're so excited for the SNY rain delay special on this year.
Oh,
the 2 months in Flushing.
It's gonna be the best.
I mean, it's
gonna be called OMG in Flushing.
right. Having to explain to somebody if somebody got out of
The turning that
confinement.
the ultimate part of that month was the Grimace during that rain delay against the Yankees, just chugging a beer in a Grimace outfit.
Oh yeah. It's just standing on a table.
No, someone had him on top of his. Someone had him on top of his shoulders, and it was just like
it looked like he wasn't high enough to be on
it
one
was.
of those.
No,
tables.
he was up there, and it was a welcome to the Thunderdome type of moment.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
that was the moment where we're like, oh, we might have something here.
If somebody got out of solitary confinement from the beginning of the baseball season, and then came out and they were like, "So what's going on with the New York Mets?" I'd be like, I need about 3 hours to explain what's going on here, and you're not going to understand any of it."
When I went to that fireworks game against the Marlins, right? Was it the Marlins? I think it was the Marlins. No, it was someone else. It don't matter. That was the oh my God game, and then Grimace got a ladder
when
cheer.
they did the concert or whatever, right?
Yeah, when Grimace got a ladder cheer than Matthew Broderick, I was like, oh, we got something here, boys.
Yeah.
It's been the craziest couple months. And we thought the Cespedes run was crazy, but
with this team, I'm not trying to get too excited because we're just not that good in pitching. So it's just only a matter of time. But somehow every night we're able to outscore literally most teams. So shit's weird.
It's different because we're supposed to have always been the dominant pitching team,
right?
And win games 1-2-3-0. But we've said it in the past, this offense, when you go down the lineup with everybody healthy, it's all right, you should be able to put up. You should average 5 runs a game. Could easily average 5 runs a game.
Well, they had been. I mean, since they came back from the All-Star break, they probably averaged that. If you look at the totals, but it's been they score 3 runs and then they score 15 runs, and then they score no runs and then they score 7 runs, and it's it all evens out to probably about 5 runs a game. But they're a bit of a slump offensively just since the All-Star break, but it's nobody can hit forever. So it'll balance out. But
you kind of expected it coming out of the All-Star break. It was one of those they were so hot before. You kind of expected, all right, you got 4 days off. You're gonna 5 days off, whatever it was. You're gonna.
Nimmo hasn't hit a lick since he came back.
Lindor wasn't as hot as he was. He was hot, but wasn't as hot.
Right. So,
but I look at
McNeil's been hot. So
you look at the other side. Jeff got hot recently since the break. Pete started hitting this week a little bit. You're kind of hoping all right, now if those other guys who cooled down can kind of just even themselves out,
right?
And these other guys are going to get hot. Now we kind of have okay, now we have a a completeness in the lineup. And again, we talked about it in our group chat. Like, we did the best we could, and like props to Stearns for the trade deadline. We gave up nothing, and we filled in a couple holes. DJ Stewart was a problem. What did we do? We got Winkler. We got Winker to fill in for that, basically. We got a couple of pitchers for the bullpen. We still have some guys that are coming off IL soon. Sean Foley's going to be there eventually. We might finally get Ottavito DFA'd at some point this month. This guy's never going to go away.
So. I think at some point.
All week, has he?
He pitched yesterday.
It was a blowout.
It's in the blowout. He came in, I think.
So he came in and did garbage work.
I think so, yeah.
That's fine. He could be the garbage guy for now. We need that guy.
Yeah.
It's better than being up 15 runs and putting Budo in the game like we did on Monday.
They said they did that to keep him stretched out. I didn't love it. But
well, you were hoping for a 6-man rotation with Senga being back, but unfortunately now he's out for the year, the regular season. But he could have been that sick guy with Scott going down. They were kind of basically looking for somebody.
Yeah, the rotation is weird because it's like Severino got lit up last start, and it happened.
Finally. We were waiting for it.
It looked back like he had a bad one against he's had a few. Like, he had a bad one against the Pirates. He had a bad one against the Astros. Every couple of weeks, he's having a bad one. Manaea was fucking dominant the other night.
First pitcher since Chris Capuano.
Shout out Chris Capuano.
First lefty since Capuano.
First lefty since Capuano. So it's like, if they get in a playoff series, right, and your three starters are Sevy, Manaea, and Quintana at this point is probably your three guys. I don't know. I think you lean on the veterans. But Quintana has pitched. That's the thing. Like, we got a bad...
Yeah, but that's two lefties. That's the other thing you got to realize. Are you going to go lefty, righty, lefty in that in a playoff?
Honestly, it don't matter. You just got to get wins. You got to go with the best guy.
The key to me is which one. Who do you trust more to play that Cologne role out of all of them? Like in 15 when we had Matt's only pitching 4 innings. Who's going to be the guy who's going to come in? Do you trust David Peterson to get warm in the bullpen and then come in for 3-4 innings? If, let's say, Katana walks a bunch of guys early and they pull him early to get to the,
Who am I forgetting? Who's the fifth person? Oh, now it's Miguel. He's not fucking.
Miguel's in the pen. It's Blackburn.
Miguel will go to the pen, and Budo is ideally the guy out of the pen if you're going to get innings.
It's gonna be Budo coming out of the pen.
But again, I look at Mahina as the guy who can, because he was coming out of the pen for the Giants last year. He wasn't a starter. So I can see him being like, hey, I'll start. Right, yeah, but I'll start inning 3. I don't care about that. You want to put Peterson. Then again, he's also a lefty, so that also.
If anything, he's going to be our game 1 starter if this playoff started.
If you want to break up the lefty-righty thing, you would probably start him game 1. I don't really. That is also matchup dependent. Whoever. It's a wild card series. Whoever you're playing, if it's the Dodgers, you got Freddie and Ohtani there. You need a lefty. It's like
right. You want the lefty early on in the series, and
but it's like, I think what we think. I don't want to overstate how valuable, how good he is. Quintana was a very good, consistent pitcher before, like when they got him coming into last year. He started. I think he was on the Cardinals in 2022, and he started the first game of their playoff series. Like, he was a very good, reliable pitcher, and he's starting to get back to that guy. I don't think him starting in game 3 is that insane. But
no, I trust him the most. He's going to be the craftiest of all those backhand guys.
See, my biggest thing is you don't want to go into the series like we did with the Padres a couple of years ago, where you weren't sure of your 3 stars. Like, you knew who your 3 stars are, you just weren't sure. Where I didn't like the way Buck set it up. Where Max was going to pitch game 1, which was fine, which is understandable. Got it. He was there all year. and then if we lost, this guy was gonna pitch, but if we won, this other guy was gonna pitch, and it's like, no, you want to. We all know how pitchers are. You want to give them their day and be like, all right, you have 5 days to get ready for this day.
We talked about this around the time. They overlooked the Padres so much. It was
they completely mismanaged and misread that whole situation brutally.
Like they played Marte. He couldn't throw the ball. Like he couldn't play the outfield, and he, that was a mess. They put Alvarez on the roster, and I think he did get in at bat the whole 3 games.
I think he got one at bat. Was it like
maybe one? Like at the end of game 3, if he got in at bat, it was.
They mismanaged Alvarez's call up so badly that year.
You're right. They like called him up with like 2 weeks left in the season. Like you
should
have never even called him up
for that Brave series, and then they were in.
Then he had a huge at bat with the bases loaded, and it's like
in the 9th inning with 2 outs, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Right.
And it was hey, congratulations, first at bat, go get it.
And it was like that. See, that was the moment to me where I think they knew they fucked up. He was up. I think there was only 1 out, and the bases were loaded, and Vogelback was on the bench, and they just left him. I was like, you got Daniel Vogelback for this situation, and they had already punched.
Right. If Vogelback strikes out in that situation, we're looking at it like, all right, we put the guy we got up.
That's why we wanted in that situation. He's a lefty bat off the bench. So I remember that too, because they were the week before they were in Oakland and facing lefties, and they could have called him up and let him got his feet wet.
That's in Oakland.
Let's call him up for essentially a playoff series.
That last half a month was just.
It was shitty.
And we're against the worst fucking teams in the league, other than the Brave series.
Yeah, they got swept by the Cubs at one point.
Yeah.
It was just what a disaster. Yeah, well, it's a happier times. I
mean, we did get swept by the Cubs. Was it 07 or 08? We got swept by the Cubs. Also, that like last week of the season, I think it was.
I don't remember.
One of the years we got swept by the Cubs. That like last at Shea.
You want to know something that I recently should have known, but really just found out, and it hurt even more? Do you know how good Scott Kazmir was in 2006 and 7 and 8?
Like really good, like
wasn't he
a young finalist every year?
Like he would have. I don't know if he was a finalist. He would have been our best pitcher all 3 of those years.
Yeah, which is
cool. No, 08 he wouldn't have been our best pitcher.
He probably would not have been our best pitcher with Johan there. You are correct, but
having
him over a hurt Pedro would have been a lot better than
100%.
Well, I wouldn't say a hurt Pedro. Having him as the 3rd guy behind Johan and
El Duque not running into a drain.
Oh God!
All I know is when are we in Miami again? We need to put Otto in a cab. That's what we should do. Put him in a cab in Miami.
That was the anniversary of that yesterday.
That was the turning point of the season.
That was the turning point of 06.
Then we had to trade Xavier Nady, and then that was
for the chaos that would be Ali Perez over the next 5 years.
Me and Steve went to his debut, and his first warm-up pitch was to behind.
He almost killed the fucking national anthem singer.
His Mets debut, or it was his debut?
His Met debut, and me and Steve just go, "Oh boy."
If I remember correctly, they were playing the Phillies.
Yeah, I don't remember who they were playing. I just remember.
If I remember correctly, they were playing the Phillies, and he either walked the bases loaded or somehow, and he gave up a fucking bomb to Ryan Howard in like the first inning.
I mean,
and we're like,
first of all,
no!
Shout out Ali Perez. He pitched until 2022. What a fucking career this guy had. But
he did.
2006.
Listen, you know what he did?
Talk about his mental capacity to being able to forget is second to none.
Listen, giving him a lot of credit. You know, he realized I'm not a starter. How can I continue a career? How can I continue to make money? Become a lefty guy out of the bullpen. Just now it doesn't matter. Now it's like those are all useless guys, but like a lefty specialist to come in and throw one out. And Vin, remember Yankee Stadium in 15 when he was an Astro?
Yeah.
David Wright's first day back. We're at the Yankees-Astros game in the Bronx, and he comes in the 9th in a 0-0 game and walks the bases loaded. And Beltran
it was
walk off.
We were at a 2015 Yankee game, and Oliver Perez and Carlos Beltran were there. It was just we were like, what is going on?
Yeah,
Just
bizarre
madness.
world.
Oliver Perez walked the bases loaded for the Yankees, and then Beltran came up. They pulled him, and the next guy gave up a sac fly, and Oliver Perez got those.
To lose
And
the game,
it was Evaldi throwing 190
It was
miles an
Evaldi.
hour in the eighth inning. We're like, what is this guy doing?
So you're almost 100% right about this Ali Perez thing. It was the fifth inning. It was where are we here? August 26th. We won the game 11-5. By the way, so
Keep in mind, people, if you don't remember, there used to be a waiver deadline. I'm pretty sure Oliver was a waiver deadline pickup.
No, he was a regular deadline pickup. I don't know why it took him this long to pitch. But if I'm looking at his game log, his first game with the Mets is on August 26th. Maybe he just didn't. Maybe he went to minors first.
Yeah, but why would we trade for a guy like that to first?
I think he might have.
Because they were trading for Roberto Hernandez was really the key.
Right.
Because they were replacing fucking Warner Sanchez.
Warner.
Fifth inning.
All right. I'm having too much Vietnam flashbacks. All right.
Okay.
Wait, I just want to say,
Vin, walks, I'm gonna do one better for you.
Two walks, a single, a hit by pitch. That's so 1 run, and then a Ryan Howard grand slam for a 5-run fifth inning, and then he struck out Pat Burrow. But
they came back and won, right?
Correct. That made it 5-2 in the game. They ended up scoring 7 runs in the bottom of the 7th.
Vincent,
on
my Pittsburgh
Delgado,
story?
Sean Green, Andy Chavez, Chris Woodward. These names.
Vincent, my Pittsburgh story, okay?
Will never get old. Yeah, the Pittsburgh.
So guess what? I figured out the exact date we were in Pittsburgh. You want to know why? Because on August 26, 2003, Alvin Perez was traded by the Padres with a player to be named later and Jason Bay to the Pirates for Brian Giles. So my life has always been about
3 years later. But it's the same date, August 26th. This is unbelievable.
My life is just full circle. Perez.
I come to talk.
Danny, this whole story started
baseball
because Steven and I saw a guy at the Blink-182 concert in a Dontrelle Willis jersey.
And I just fucking cursed him out because he wouldn't sign my baseball. It was perfect
because it was like when I think of the prime of Blink-182, I think of Dontrelle Willis. I'll never not think of Dontrelle Willis.
Yeah, to mid 2000s, early to mid 2000s.
You don't have Dontrelle Willis flashbacks. Come on now.
I do, but I don't think of Blink-182.
Yeah,
how were they?
In the moment, we were at the Blink-182 concert, so it made sense in the moment.
Danny, it was exactly what I wanted it to be. It was a bunch of people who were wearing too old to be wearing clothes they were wearing, and a bunch of guys on stage who were too old to be playing a show, and they were doing their thing.
I saw a Limp Bizkit video popping up.
They've been playing for a couple of years now.
I like how I say they're too old when they're like 40 and like the Stones are still doing concerts.
No, they're definitely not 40. They're like 50.
Okay, whatever they are.
But all jokes aside, I saw that one couple getting engaged in the mud by the mosh pit at Blink-182. I mean, a Limp Bizkit concert to break stuff. That was pretty funny.
Interesting.
The girls
they do like festivals. That's what they're really
right.
Doing.
No, I know, but it was really funny. Like, man, you're really like our love song is "Break Stuff" by Limp Bizkit. That relationship must be wild.
It's definitely an interesting one.
Break your fucking face tonight.
So okay, you had to put a number on it. What is the percentage chance the Mets make the playoffs? They're currently a half game out of the wild card spot at the moment.
We're currently out of the wild card spot?
They're a half game out at the moment.
Oh.
It's annoying because like the National League wild card that was like chaos for a long time has kind of separated a little bit. I'm gonna pull it up really quick. Wild card. So there was a time where it was like the entire league, besides the Rockies and the Marlins, were like within 5 games. The Pirates are 2.5 out. The Cardinals are a game and a half out. We're a half a game out. It's the Diamondbacks and the Padres and the Braves. The Giants are 4.5. They're kind of done. They're under 500. They're kind of done. So it's really just Pirates, Cardinals, Mets, Diamondbacks, Padres, and the Braves are only a game up on everybody, I think. So it's pretty much 2.5 games separating 6 teams. 3.5 games separating 6 teams. It's a lot of chaos. You had to put a number on it.
Of us making the playoffs?
Correct. I'd say 40%.
40?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna say like 53.
Okay.
I was going to say 60.
Okay. So I'm probably a little low. Just
Vin's
because
been
their
through
offense
the wars.
I've been through the wars. Their offense that we've talked about that has been good scares the living daylights out of me because I'm going to say it. I'm worried about Francisco Alvarez. He just doesn't hit anymore. And it's probably only been like a lot of his problem is that we watch them every goddamn day. So it's like I feel like every at bat is 3 days. But yeah, I'm slightly worried about Francisco Alvarez. I'm slightly worried about the lineup in general. And they'll probably score like 10 runs tomorrow and, be fine. But, yeah, we'll see.
Only God will tell.
Only God will tell.
Listen, if he gets hot.
It just sucks. We're like, that's why I'm happy we didn't go all in for the trade deadline. Because ultimately, if we do make it, it's best of like we're gonna play 3 extra games theoretically, and then if we make it past make it to the division series, we're not gonna be lasting long without the pitcher. With the pitching we have, it's just not happening. We're like with duct tape at this point.
It's the interesting thing is like while the Dodgers are the Dodgers and like they're we think of them as crazy, no one's really going nuts this season. Like
right,
the Phillies are very good, but they're in a
they fell off a cliff.
Slump. Yeah, the Dodgers now. Mookie's been out for a little bit now,
yes,
but they're currently have a worse record than the Phillies. And then the third of the wild card team is the Brewers, and it's like the Brewers are the Brewers. I mean, they're always put together, like Danny said, with duct tape, and somehow they come out on top. So right now, I think we would be playing. Who would we be playing? We'd be playing the Brewers. We'd be playing a 3-game series. If you get the last spot, we'd be playing a 3-game series with the Brewers.
I mean,
in Milwaukee, which is very funny because we end the season in Milwaukee. So we might just play 6 straight games at the end of the season in Milwaukee.
Stay in Milwaukee.
Well,
I think
well, there's your excuse, Vin. Now you have an excuse to go to the Packer Viking game Sunday and just stay.
Not leaving.
Perfect excuse to just go to that Packer Viking game on Sunday and just spend the week in Milwaukee because that's what everybody wants to do in this world.
It's like the Wayne's World joke. Oh, he's from Milwaukee. Cool.
So what else is going on, everybody? How's your summer? Danny, how's the summer going?
It's good. It's good. Just living the dream. How about you, Vin? You got the richest quarterback in the NFL.
Until Brock Purdy gets paid.
Yeah. So
I haven't looked at the details.
That hasn't come out yet.
What?
The details didn't fully come out yet, right? Or I missed
think
it.
they did.
Nope, they're out.
So it's very much his cap hit isn't crazy until it's one of those fake ones.
It's one of those fake contracts. He'll re-sign in a couple years.
Yes, it's an extension. So this year his cap hit is what it was going to be, 20 something. That last year is the fake one. You can see. I think it's.
Can you make it bigger? A tad bigger?
I think you have to if you make your screen bigger. There you go. Right? See, so 20 this year, which is what it was when they re-signed them last year. 29, 36, and then we get to 74 in the last year. That's just not happening.
No way. That's definitely not happening.
Right. And then there's a void
Vin may
year
actually
here.
jump off a bridge if he gets to that point. Where
Well, no one's.
So
you would
no one
need
does
you would
that.
need 3 Super Bowl rings between now and then to be like, all right, I'll pay you $74 million.
all right. So again,
Regardless,
the confidence level that you have going into the season. Tell me about it.
Danny, I'm gonna be vulnerable here. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh no.
We're gonna go back to
So if a certain someone has him available to be kept in the 14th round in a hypothetical fantasy football draft, would he keep him?
Oh shit, I didn't do the draft order today. Oh well.
100% in the 14th round. I also, speaking of that, realized that I have a very similar situation with CJ Stroud, so I didn't need to draft Jordan Love like I told you I wanted to. I'm just going to keep CJ Stroud.
Right. No, but I also didn't realize I drafted Josh Allen in the second round. I was like, whoa, why did I do that? I thought it was the fourth. I thought it was the fourth round. But whoopes.
We had a crazy draft last year.
Our draft with the keepers and stuff. It gets
certainly did.
There's a very interesting. A lot of, I guess, would you say a lot of your opinion is based on stuff you see on Twitter, or your feel of it? Sometimes.
If you go on Twitter, you would think certain players are the worst humans on the face of the earth. But yeah,
there are a good amount of people in the Packers Twitter sphere that, in my opinion, overly don't like Rodgers, so they're overly hyping up Love.
Well, they don't like how Rodgers left.
No, they don't like Rodgers as a person. They don't like his.
To be fair, we didn't have Twitter when Favre left.
Correct.
I think we did, but it wasn't as big yet.
I don't think we did. We did, but the fans did not treat Rodgers well.
But I'm pretty sure Vin didn't have Favre in his top 8 on MySpace anymore when he left. So,
sure.
My opinion. So, it's a weird situation. When he played well, we all saw it was unbelievable. And if you actually,
and that playoff game against Dallas was magical.
Right. And even the one
that
against
got
the
him
Niners,
the contract.
Right. Even the one against the Niners, he played well against
the Niners game wasn't his fault, if I remember correctly.
He made a very stupid throw they had the ball with a chance to go down, and he threw it across his body across the field.
Right.
And he threw a pass.
Now, if they would have made a field goal, the game would have been tied instead of them losing. It's a whole thing.
You know what's funny? I had a fever dream the other night watching Giant highlights on Instagram. I forgot Mason Crosby was on the Giants last year.
What? Missed the big kick to lose.
He missed the big kick against the Rams.
Yeah, I think it was like a 50-something yarder.
Yeah, no, it was a very long field goal. He wasn't hitting.
And if I remember correctly, with the weirdness of the NFC last year, if he made that, it would have given the Giants an opportunity at a playoff game.
Yes, and he wore number 21 to make everything even weirder.
Yeah. So I have a fair amount of faith in Jordan Love, but I don't think I have $255 million worth of faith in him. But the money's fake. Like I just said.
Money is
the NFL. Money is not
money is
real
really
when it comes to the NFL.
So
my problem with the situation is the Packers put themselves in it. And I know the draft and develop thing, it's worked every time, whatever. But this is now, they did it with Rodgers, and they got, I guess, lucky because they signed him to I think it was a 4 or 5 year deal before Favre left. They gave him an extension in 08. So he played the first 5 years on a cheap deal. They didn't do that with Jordan because of the way the years worked out, and I guess the 5th-year option thing now. So they put themselves in the situation. They have a guy who, in the 17-game season, played, I would say, 10 very good games, and there are others.
Lost to Tommy DeVito. That's all that matters.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they lost the game against Tampa where the defense could not stop. They couldn't stop Baker to save their lives.
Yet
That was
Carolina gave up 3 field goals and lost the.
Steve, were you at that game? I had COVID that game. Did you go to that
No,
game?
Giant game?
we chose.
It was one that
Ben and I.
we punted
we
it.
waited till
in
like
the middle of the season.
We waited. We held off because we had 2 tickets for sale, and Dad said the other 2 tickets were up to you, and we held off on that. I think we gave it till like early to mid-November.
Yeah, I gave them to my neighbor next door.
But we
before I had COVID.
also knew like 2 weeks before that when we played New England. I think it was Thanksgiving weekend. We played New England, and I had to call Vin at 7:00 because there was something going on with like our plumbing or something. So Dad didn't want to go. And I said to Vin, I was like, I'm going to leave it up to you. Do you want to go to Giants Pats Day? And he goes, I'm not watching these 2 fucking quarterbacks play. I'm going back to bed. From that moment, I was like, all right, I guess I'm not going.
Yeah, that was my last game of the season.
The other thing it was Monday Night Football. It's like I'm not
right. Monday Night Football.
When we were planning it, both teams were like 4-6. I'm not going to watch this team and think
and Daniel was done and
these shitty fucking teams.
At the end of the day, also I gave it up to Vin because like he had his team healthy. We at that point we were given they didn't know he'd go on a playoff run. No, he didn't know he was going to go on a playoff run. But again, it was if I remember correctly, the Islanders played somebody that night and won, and then I got home in time to watch the end of the football game. Which is typical what happens when you go to a hockey game during a football game.
Correct. Which the only reason that game was even close at the end the way it was is because Saquon fell down and left the ball.
Fumbled.
Well, yeah, he did that like 4 times last season.
The game was over if he just didn't do that.
Yeah, he did that like 3 times last year.
So, yeah. More importantly, not more importantly, but how has your Hard Knocks?
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay.
I'm going to say, so I enjoyed it as well. I will say, I was thinking of the possibility of wearing the Barkley jersey to the Eagle game out of the respect and the thanks for the 6 years, because I don't think he really walked. Originally, it didn't feel like, it didn't feel like it was like a Tavares type thing, like people were making it seem like.
No, it wasn't a Tavares thing.
It wasn't, but now after watching Hard Knocks and how you go from one episode of him being like, yeah, I'm going to give you guys the respect. I'm going to give you guys respect. And the following week, he doesn't even call the team. Like, just his agent. Like, Barkley should be a man and just to call the team. Now, I hope he gets his head knocked off. I hope he's healthy until that game, and then we take his head off.
I personally think Shane made it crystal clear for him that he wasn't coming back. So,
but still, you still make the phone call.
Well, we don't know that they made the phone call because they apparently talked after the signing. And talked to Matt after, according to him. But I don't know.
I agree with Saquon. It seems like because he said in whatever interview we just did, it was like it seemed like they only wanted me if I was cheap. I agree with you.
Yeah, Diana Rossini. And
he was the guy, and we saw it last year. He wanted to change the running back market. You have kickers that are making more money than running backs in the league, and it makes sense.
And I've said it last year, and I'll say it again. The Giants aren't there yet for us to spend that money on a running back. Mm-hmm. If Gettleman was still our GM, we would have been screwed. But
we would have given him $100 million. We would have given him the Jordan Love contract. Gettleman was still in charge.
Yeah, so I don't get the outrage. Why of all the teams in the league that didn't re-sign their running back, we're the worst people in the world?
If he went to the Cincinnati Bengals, nobody would care. It's just because he went to the Eagles.
I forgot Joe Mixon was a Texan.
I don't know if I'm taking crazy pills at the current moment, and maybe I am, and maybe I'm overstating. The Philadelphia Eagles collapsed at the end of last season.
No, yeah, people forget that.
Utter collapse, and people are like, "Oh, they're going 12-5."
The curse of Big Dom.
Did we watch the same team?
They gave him a new title this year, so that way they can't say that he can't be on the sideline.
They lost their most important offensive lineman. Is Hurts even good? I don't know.
Listen, they didn't even replace him. And the fact that after Saquon signed, all you saw was How do we get Jason Kelsey out of retirement? How do we get Jason Kelsey
Well,
out of
no,
retirement?
his backup's not bad.
Right,
They
his backup's not
prepare.
bad, but everybody wanted Jason Kelsey to come back
Right.
another year because they
Right.
were like, all right, now we have Saquon. Let's
No,
get
they
Jason Kelsey
did
back.
a good
Let's keep
job
running back.
replacing him theoretically.
I'm sure they
They
did.
replaced him a couple of years
good
ago.
luck with
This was
your
one of
stuff.
those.
Yeah.
They knew it
Good
was
luck with
coming.
your
They
And I'm
drafted
pretty
a
sure
guy.
he played
Come on.
guard a few games, so he got some playing time, if I remember correctly.
Their nonsense QB sneaks will not be the same. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah. Well, they don't also. The thing with them,
Saquon's not
last year,
doesn't cry at the goal line like.
the thing
Swift
with them is, for whatever weird reason, they stopped running the ball with Swift. I will never understand that.
Yeah.
Their offense really wasn't the issue. It was their defense. For whatever god awful reasoning, they just stopped playing. Well, obviously their corners got old quick, but I don't know.
No, I mean,
Their offense is going to obviously be a top 3 offense in the league. I mean, the wide receivers alone.
you would think, but
They had
Like-
that was the weirdest collapse of all time last year.
they lost. I might be
There really
making this
wasn't
up.
a reason for it. That was the crazy
They
thing.
lost.
They lost
a
to the
must-win
Jets,
game
and then for whatever
the
weird
Commanders.
reason, they fell off a cliff. Yeah, but the weird thing is the weird thing with the Commanders is the Commanders have their number weirdly.
They're that team. Like we always beat we feel like every year we're 2-0.
2 years ago, Tyler Heineke went into Philly and beat them.
Hand up. I apologize. It was not the Commanders. It was the Cardinals.
Right. And
I
the wide
thought it was. Yes, New Year's
Yeah.
Day.
Because
New
people
Year's
thought the
Eve.
Cardinals were bailing, but then they started winning games. They thought they were going to ruin their chances to get Marvin Harrison after that
As I'm
game.
looking, okay, maybe I'm overstating it.
Then they lost.
Because as
to
I'm
us.
looking at it, they lost to the Niners, who are just better than them.
Right.
They lost to Dallas. They lost in Seattle.
Yeah, that was the Drew Lock game.
Right. It's
Right.
really just this Cardinal game. They were 10
No,
and
they
1,
lost to
and-
us, and then we almost.
and-
If Tyrod played the whole game on Christmas
Correct.
Day, we could have beaten them.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I mean, they did.
They
They
were
won that
not
game.
good
Right.
at all.
No, but it's. Yeah, they lost to the. I guess they had a chance to win the division, or they had a chance to win the division.
No,
last
if I
week.
remember correctly, Dallas had the lead, so it was basically over
Right.
when
They
played.
pulled off. Yes.
But
and
we had the big lead going into halftime, and they saw the Cowboys score, and they're like, "Forget this."
Right. And then they got the absolute shit beat out of them by the Bucks in the playoffs.
The absolute shit kicked out of them. That was beautiful.
So
What do you think made got Baker paid?
Well, Baker also had a good game against
he
the
had a good
Lions.
season. He had a good season.
Right, Baker could have beaten the Lions. It was just
know
the
what I
Lions.
could've-
There
know what
was no beating the Lions.
I got to read up on how Sterling Shepard's doing in camp.
I forget. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about that today. I completely forgot he was even in camp. He went to a
Me
camp.
too. But you mentioning the Bucks, I remembered.
He brings versatility to their corp. This is all from a month ago. It's just when he signed. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I just
Love them, but ultimate, what could have been?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't look like they're really talking about him in camp.
he's just gonna get hurt again, though.
Well, not only that, he's gonna at best 4th wide receiver on that team.
I don't know who's 3, but
He's
yeah,
like
sure.
our Allen Robinson. He's like our Allen Robinson.
Completely forgot Allen Robinson was in our camp. So
I forgot. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I'm like Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson, the guy from the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So
That
Tommy
game was
DeVito
good
next week's gonna throw bullets to him, and he's gonna score a couple touchdowns.
Maybe he will.
He'll be the guy that gets cut, and then someone's gonna pick him up later in there.
And he has
It's
a
Evans,
resurgence.
Godwin.
Who's
If you
3?
look at ESPN, Shepard's like the 8th receiver on
Right.
that team. Evans,
He caught-
Godwin, Trey Palmer.
Oh, Palmer's fast, right?
He caught
Palmer's
a
the
nice
fast
deep
guy.
ball from Kyle Trask yesterday.
Which is
All right,
the
let's go.
third
I'm watching
string.
it. And he caught it
So
right
he's not
before
even playing
coverage.
with his boy.
Big
not even
ass
playing with
college
his
Trask.
Also, okay, so that was 10 hours ago. 11 hours ago, which was before that, I don't know. It says he comes up gingerly after catching a ball. Okay, well, there it is.
Sounds like the last 4 years.
But then he came back out and made that catch. Okay, so the
Such a
tweets are out of
shame.
order.
Shepard's such a stand-up and good guy.
We were at the Met game.
Boy.
And was it the
Sterling
Giant
Shepard
game?
went to Oklahoma?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
That's why he's with
Okay.
Baker. That's why Baker
go,
called him to
reunited.
come back.
Legacy name there.
Got it.
And I remember we drafted him. We were getting food van. And if I remember correctly, that was the year the Jets took the Penn State quarterback in like the second or third round.
Oh,
and we
Christian
Hackenberg.
Yep.
Where we laughed at it for like 20 minutes. And I asked you, and remember when I asked you a couple of weeks ago how wonderful you are and excited you are for Sean Clifford?
I never have to. He's literally might lose his job to a guy we drafted this year. He might lose his. He was that. He threw like 7 interceptions in the 3 practices we had. It was god awful. Anyway, go ahead. Sterling Shepard.
So Logan Paul made a comment about the women's boxing match.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
This is the purest form of evil unfolding right before your eyes. A man was allowed to beat up a woman on a global stage, crushing her life dreams while fighting for her deceased father.
As I understand it, she's not a man. I don't know enough about it to know what it is, but was born with more testosterone than a normal woman. It's nonsense, this whole thing.
So she's on the Brittany Grinder diet.
It's something like that. I know it's like there is a word for it. It's not transsexual. It's something else.
I mean,
it's
oofa.
just
twigs and
Also,
berries, baby. Twigs and berries.
If you look at the clip, like the one that she quit on, the other woman has no clue how to box. She's just throwing, like she's a.
So it's like rough and rowdy.
I honestly look like rough and rowdy. The woman had no idea how to protect herself. She did not know what she was doing. But I don't know.
I heard today that one of Frank the Tank's handlers is fighting in the next Rough and Rowdy, and it's a loser leaves town match.
Frank the Tank has handlers?
Yeah, people he's always with.
He's got his like camera crew.
Okay.
Frank Francesa's son is his intern.
I did know that.
Yes,
Mike, he called Dave and was like, "Can you give my son a job?" Like, sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did KFC last year, and then now he's at age of being able to know that he's able to intern.
Correct.
All right. Okay.
Which is like, yeah. So a long time coming from like he was in the studio playing with the fucking trains or something, whatever the hell that was. There was a clip of something like that. He brought his kids and the kids were like playing with the shit on the desk. I used to watch that show every day when it was on the Yes Network.
Mike's on?
No, I mean it was just the radio, whatever. Right, Mike's on, I guess. So they changed the name to it, right?
Yeah.
It might have still been Mike and the Mad Dog, but it was just him by himself. I don't remember exactly.
So can someone explain this kickoff?
They hardly did shows together. The kickoff?
I don't like watching it. Like, so if it lands in the landing zone, they have to return it.
I don't even know. I'm not watching. So
if the ball lands in the landing zone, I think they have to return it. If it lands in the end zone,
you could do what you want.
You could let it go. Hold on. I thought I had it.
Granted, I have it as background viewing, and I'm not really watching it fully and all that fun stuff. So,
okay. Ball's kicked from the 35-yard line. That's the same. Safety kicks would be, safety kicks don't matter. Okay.
What is a safety kick?
Like if you get a safety and then you have to do the next kickoff. All kicking team players, other than the kicker, will line up with 1 foot on the receiving team's 40-yard line. So they're all past midfield on the 40-yard line. The kicker can't go past the 50-yard line until the ball's touched. He's never going to do that. And the 10 kicking team players can't move until the ball hits the ground or a player in the landing zone. The receiving team has a 5-yard lineup area from the 35 to the 30, where 9 guys can be. Says 7 guys have to have. So 7 guys have to be up on the 35. The other 3 can be back, and then 2 more can be receiving the kick. So it's essentially just a play from scrimmage with a 5-yard gap, and you kick the ball. The landing zone, it's between the 20, right? It's up to the 20. If the kick is short of the 20, it's like you kicked it out of bounds on the overall, so you get the ball to 40. If it's in the landing zone, you have to return it. And if it hit the landing zone and goes into the end zone, you have to down it. Like, you have to actually get the ball. You can't just let it go. And you would get it at the 20. Kick hits the end zone, stays in bounds. You get it. So a touchback, quote unquote, is the 30. And it goes out of the back of the end zone, it's a 30.
None
So
of it
that's
makes sense. None of it makes sense. I guess I'll actually have to like watch a game.
You have to watch it. I mean, the things are obvious. The reason is obvious. There's no more people running 40 yards to collide.
Right.
It's a significant safer play. It's basically just a run from scrimmage at that point. So, like, anybody who's going to be a returner, it's probably going to lean heavily on running backs, like, whatever, backup running backs, because you're just reading holes. It's a very similar thing as being a running back. It's not the old school kick returner thing. I'm sure their skills will still be useful, but I feel like it's going to lean more.
You're not going to need a Devin Hester back there anymore.
I guess. I don't know. I assume the skills are relatively the same. That's Devin Hester was good at finding holes, but it's less levels and more reading blocks, I guess. Is the key.
Makes sense.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Oh, and you can't. So you can only onside kick in the fourth quarter, and you have to tell them when you're going to do it. Obviously.
Right. You have to be like, "Excuse me, we're not going to kick it down the field, sir."
Well, I'm assuming once you're going to go back to normal onside kick setups.
I could bet amount of money that Sean Payton did not vote for that.
Sean Payton, most overrated coach in the history of football.
Yeah, yeah, he is 100%.
100%.
He's about to resurrect Zach Wilson's career in Denver.
Yeah, on the 3rd string.
Sure.
He's not even making the team.
He's in the perfect fit. The Mormon area.
Who's the quarterback?
It's either going to be Bo Nix or who started for them last year. Fuck.
I was going to say Drew Lock, but no.
Nope, it wasn't Drew Lock.
Seattle. Fuck. What's his name?
Great. See, I don't feel bad. I mean, last year, Danny, who replaced Russell Wilson? I don't know.
It's him.
Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, sit him.
Jarrett Stidham?
Yes.
Okay, that's just not a person.
Yes, Patriots. Your job.
He didn't play horrible.
And he sucked it. And he sucked in Auburn too, if I remember correctly.
Shocking. He threw for
I mean, he was good. Obviously, he made it to the NFL, but for whatever
he beat the Chargers 20 for 32, 224 touchdown, 20 for 34, 272 touchdown.
Yeah.
2023 stats is 40 for 66 for 496 yards. I think it's safe to say he was not the starter in that season.
Because Russell Wilson was the starter, and then they said, "Bro, go away."
And then there was the
that's right. He played the last 6 games. That's right, because of the injury thing, and they didn't want to get him.
Somebody else play.
Maybe someone played, and they're like, "No, we're just gonna play him." I could be wrong.
No, there's somebody. I gotta find it.
There was definitely another random.
No, Russ played 15 games. To me, that happened at Thanksgiving, so it was only 12. It's very wild that was only fucking that it was the last 2 games of the season they did that. I thought it was a lot earlier. Russ did not play bad last year. I hate him. He really didn't play that bad.
Well, yeah, everybody's thinking about 2 years ago still.
He threw for 3,000 yards in 15 games, 26.
I still hope Fields beats him out though.
Me too.
How about that today, huh?
I think that
Look
was
at them going at it.
That was
I
yesterday.
think wasn't that fake?
Not them
really?
specifically, but he did get lit up.
He got lit up. Okay. No, because I saw somebody was like quote tweeted, like somebody was tweeting.
I think the quote
they got in a shouting match.
I think the quote of him turning to Russell and saying the most expensive back out
that would
be making Subway sandwiches.
Right.
I'm pretty safe to say that was fake.
But I didn't even think they were the ones involved in the fight. He was like one of them was involved in the fight.
You couldn't tell. That's the thing. You couldn't really tell with the video, so you don't really know if it was really them or not. But if it was, if anything, it could have been like a Fields tried to show off type of thing after making a big play, and Russell was like, "Yo, just can't shut the fuck up." If anything, but we got the like everybody's already piled together video, so there's no way. Justin Fields turned to him and said, "You should be making."
You had Sunday Ticket last year, right?
A couple of years ago.
I did not get the YouTube version because it's significantly more. It was double the price that I paid.
Because this year, as the season ticket holder perk is $70 off. I was trying to see if we were able to finagle the accounts to make it cheaper.
So I did a little bit of research on this because I tried to. The original thing and the reason I had it was because through DirecTV and through you can get it on I had it on my PlayStation, but because I technically am a college student with work, I had a college ID, so you get the student discount. So it was like $150 for the season, and I had it on the PS4. For me, that was 100% worth it.
Yeah, I saw that they do payment plans now too. So
now you can pay. So that's the other thing. You can pay it. I think it's like $350 for the season.
Yeah, it's $350 minus the set. Yeah, I was trying to see.
And then it's
$2,
but it's like $270 if you have YouTube TV. And I don't think any of us do. I did some research on the sharing accounts because I tried last year to. I was gonna share it with my dad, like we were gonna split it, because then it would have been the same price as it was for me before. And obviously, we both root for teams that are out of market. And it seemed very like Netflixy the way they're doing the password sharing stuff.
Yeah, I figured.
The best thing, and again, it depends on who you're sharing it with. If you're gonna share it with friends that are in the area, what I did was going to do is just created a new Gmail. And then if I were to go there, I would have logged in with my phone or whatever, because you need like a home spot. So to me, that's the best way to do it is like create a new email address specifically for that product and then share that email address around.
Because if you look behind me, I have a new 75-inch TV. So I was trying to figure that out for Sundays.
Right.
Gonna get a brand new couch and man cave ready to go in the attic like high school all over again.
I don't know. It seemed pretty strict with the password sharing stuff, so I didn't even want to get into it with that.
Yeah, that's why I haven't done it yet. I wasn't gonna ask my cousins, "Hey, drop me some money," and then having to pay them back.
And especially like now. With fucking, use Stream East or one of those. Mm-hmm. I know you could do it on the computer. You could Chromecast it or whatever, Apple Play to the computer, to the screen. It's, I'm delayed by a minute and a half, but it's so much easier. I can. And
thankfully you're a team. Thankfully you root for a team that's always on regular TV.
We're game of the week a lot. We're on.
You literally miss 4 games this season.
If that, yeah. And like I knows I jump on, do whatever.
Gotta do what you gotta
And there's
do.
plenty of people on YouTube, at this point, over the last couple of years, Vin, that you could just find the game.
Like I said, Stream East is, it's whatever, or one of those sites. You just literally.
Yeah, that's what my friends use. The out of
very
town
funny,
Giant
like,
fans.
I guess technology is advanced.
It's actually really funny during the season because of the Talking Giants group, and so it's like guys from all over the country, and it's
Right.
like, oh crap, our link died. Well, man, like, oh, you picked the right game for that.
Yeah, it used to be
and then you gotta remember, do not spoil it for them.
Right. So it used to be like impossible in like the mid 2000s or like early 2010s. It was impossible to find streams. Now, any sport you want to watch, you type in whatever NHL free stream, MLB free stream. It's something pump.
Right.
It's the easiest thing on the planet.
No, I know.
And it probably fucks your computer. It might fuck your computer up. There's pop ups. I don't know. It's for me. It's worth it. But yeah,
Finn, all the crap that's on your phone and laptop, I'm sure we're fine.
I was saying the other day, somebody got my friend Lauren, she got a letter about there was a data breach on one of the things, whatever.
Whoops.
If somebody wants to be me, be me. I don't want to come take my stuff. I don't want to be me.
You want this life? Be my guest. Good luck.
Knock yourself out.
Best of luck to you. Good luck with everything. Enjoy
I'll give you
the
my passport. Have a good time.
Ticketmaster. That's what it is. Ticketmaster.
It was Ticketmaster. Yeah.
Oh, of course it was.
All right. So 3 letters in the house.
Before we wrap up, we all got college football, right?
We did.
I'm already a Heisman Trophy winner.
I'm almost there. I'm not there yet at all.
In fairness, I was playing on their freshman way of playing, so I'm beating USC by 70 points at halftime.
Oh, I play on varsity. I played on All American.
Yeah, I'm old.
Smoked.
No, I'm ready to boost it up. I was doing one of those all right, let me get a year in. Let me get some playing time.
I did the opposite. I'm leading Rutgers to the Rose Bowl, and I lost to Oregon. That was fun.
So, Danny, you obviously did Road to Glory. What did you start as? You remember what star level you started as?
The middle one. I'm in the 70s. I didn't do full out underdog. So I started. So I started as a backup at Rutgers, and then for whatever weird reason, they had a good year, and then I did the. I started around week 8, week 9, and then the rest is history. I hate the defense in this game on how easy it is for interceptions.
What position are you?
I'm a quarterback.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to.
One tip. I don't think you guys are going to do this. I thought it might be fun. Don't try to run the option.
I do. I enjoy it.
Danny's been running the option since 2003 in that game. So he's not worried about how to run the option.
The first one I did.
I suck at RPOs. I suck at RPOs, but awesome at the option.
And I went to Army or whatever, Navy.
Oh, I did that too, and I'm I'm not doing this.
It didn't work. They can't block anybody. They can't block anybody.
So I did Coastal Carolina.
Okay. I eventually switched uniforms. At the end of the one I started with, the original one I have now finished. I ended up at Tulane and we won a national championship.
Yeah, that was the other team I was thinking.
I got in at I think we were a 10 seed, made a run at the end, won the American Conference, got in the playoffs, and won.
Well, yeah, my creative player is Rutgers, and we are the number 3 team in the land.
The other thing I hate, so there's a couple things I hate. If you do a level like Danny, like you did and I did, you never get I think the highest I got at the end of it was an 82. Leveling up is crazy. It's too much. The other thing, I started one as a running back. The fatigue thing doesn't work for position players. They kick you out every 3 plays. And it's I get that's realistic.
Well, you get 100 and something people on every team.
But I'm saying I get that it's realistic that running backs come out every 3 plays, It's a video game. I want to play as my person.
Yeah,
So
that's why I kept it at running back. I mean, that's
I
why I
wouldn't
kept it
start
at
one as a
quarterback.
running back. I'm assuming the same thing is going to happen to a defensive player. I wouldn't do one as any other position but quarterback. And also, I did a little dynasty. I did a little bit of it, and I'm not into recruiting. It's not my thing. It's just too much.
The recruiting part's kind of like a lot. It's like
So like you can put auto recruiting on, but then it's
That defeats the fun.
bad.
You're just playing Madden.
you're just playing
I know.
basically exhibition games. And
But then Dynasty's not for me. It takes too long to fucking.
Yeah,
recruit.
you're not a dynasty guy. It's okay.
I think I'm just gonna keep playing Road to Glories with different,
Yeah, that's
types
fun.
of players.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because of Rutgers, but man, it is a nightmare throwing the ball.
What level are you playing on?
Varsity. I tried All American,
Okay.
and I'm like,
All American is impossible.
Varsity's the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like freshman, varsity, all American.
It's embarrassing. Granted,
Freshman
I don't
varsity,
play
All
Madden.
American Heisman. We're just too old, Danny. I don't have the motor skills I used to.
Did you guys change the passing thing too with the receiver with the
Yeah,
I
do
went back to
glasses
the
like
original, whatever the old school was. Just I'm gonna
Yeah.
throw the ball in the air and hope my guy catches it.
I also
Yeah.
did. You can turn the XP sliders up so that you get more XP. I turned it all the way up. I'm not.
You're fucking
yeah, I
around.
should probably do that.
Yeah, if you go to settings and go to XP sliders, you can change how much XP you get because it just takes too long without the other shit. It just takes too fucking long.
Yeah, I might have to do that. Good call, man.
Yep. Take a look. Anyway,
With that being said, welcome to August, everybody. We're gonna get our football preview show going soon. Get into the
Draft.
season.
Draft.
Fantasy draft we have coming up
you know what I found today? I was
September
looking through
1st.
some stuff. The fantasy baseball belt, the championship belt. I thought that thing was gone to the.
We had a fantasy baseball belt.
Yeah, I
We
didn't
did.
even realize we did.
I won I think I won. We did it for 3 years, and I won 2 out of 3 of them. And the last
aren't
year, I
you
think
cool?
Brian won, and I never gave him the belt because we stopped doing it because COVID happened. I think.
I don't even remember getting the belt. That's the thing.
I could show you to you. I got it. It's great. I'm gonna bring it to the baseball one, just because it's there.
So you're gonna NWO it?
I might, yeah. I might wear a bandana. I might wear sunglasses. To do the whole thing. I mean, I don't want to, don't idolize Hogan, but maybe. Maybe I'll be Cena. I'll get some jorts, and I'll put a spinner belt on it. Yeah,
that's easy.
Jorts, sneakers, a hat, some wristbands. It'd be great.
It's easy.
Yeah, simple. Anyway, hopefully we have
we got to stay up late for the Mets West Coast trip. So
absolutely not. Waking up at 2 a.m. That is not happening.
Oh, that's not happening.
Well, we do have a nice weekend series first, so we could ease ourselves into it, and then where do they go after that?
St. Louis and then Colorado and Seattle.
Right.
It's the Angels, right? It's the Angels, the game against the Cardinals, Colorado, Seattle, Beckham.
So the Colorado games are 8:40. Those could be manageable.
Those you could get the beginning of them.
It's not bad. So it's the Angels over this weekend that are all 9:30, 4 o'clock. The game in St. Louis is at 5. And then it's 2 8 o'clock games in Colorado. So you can catch the first couple innings, then a day game. And then we're in Seattle the other weekend. So it's not the end of the world. They have a lot of Jesus. The schedule is pretty easy. I don't like that. Anyway. Angels, Rockies, Mariners are not been playing great. And then the A's and the Marlins at home.
But then we play like Baltimore at home, like after that too, right?
Baltimore and then go back west. Oh my! 2 West Coast trips this month. What a disaster! 4 with San Diego, 3 with Arizona. That's gonna be a bitch. And then come back and face the White Sox. We're getting swept by the White Sox at the end of that month. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
We're gonna be the only team to lose all year.
Can't wait.
Please, Finn. please. That'll
Danny,
be Panic
we're gonna-
City. That's Panic City times 10.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was
god!
like going back to 2022.
Don't talk that into
Wait.
the universe, Finn.
2022.
You know
Do you
better.
remember we played like a series in Cincinnati? It was they almost lost the game, but then they came back. I think Dom wasn't there. I was gonna say Dom had a big
was
hit, but Dom
Dom.
wasn't there.
I think it
Right,
was
Dom
Dom.
hit a homer to tie the game or something. Right, he was still there. Yeah, and then they ended up winning, and we were all like, okay, the collapse is off.
For
At that
now.
point, we might be there. Anyway,
Oh,
enjoy your weekend.
We have Blackburn starting this week too.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Blackburn is starting tomorrow.
Oh,
Yes.
tomorrow.
He's back. He's in. I'm assuming they're going to send McGill down for him.
I'm pretty sure McGill's in the pen because of him.
Well, then is it DFA out of
Probably
Nino
one
guy?
of the Youngs probably got sent down for him.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
I
it
thought
was.
No, you guys are wrong.
It was
oh,
the
no,
other
it is
guy.
Friday. The Mets are off today. My bad.
Today's
They are
Thursday.
off.
Remember, I was mad at you guys for not calling me to wake me up to run the podcast, and I was running late to work like 2
That
hours
is
ago.
actually really funny that you did that.
What did you say? I missed the message.
No, I saw
What
it.
did
He's
say?
like, "Why didn't anybody tell me wake me up?"
Why didn't anybody
Like,
call and
what
check on me,
the
like a
fuck
wellness
are you
check or
talking-
something?
It's like, what are you talking about?
I had no idea. I woke up. It was like 6:30. I was like, "Holy fuck! Am I late for work?"
I'm literally walking home from the train station, and I get that. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, what?
Listen, that was
I
a
think-
hell of an app.
I think they sent down not one of the Youngs. They called up another lefty. I think they sent him down.
Darn.
Shucks.
Yeah, Matt Gage, I think his name was.
Yeah, he was one of them.
I think he got sent down.
That's so depressing.
I don't think he even pitched.
McGill? McGill pitch. Trust me, I was there.
No, Gage.
Oh.
Oh, then maybe I don't know.
You would think we
They
would
did-
have known today what would have happened because they're traveling across the country, but then again, they probably told the guy on the middle of the plane ride that he was getting sent down to Miami.
Stop
Flew him all the
bothering
way to LA, flying
Yeah,
back
do
to
that.
Syracuse.
Correct. No, that guy is no longer on the roster that I mentioned, Matt Gage. So it's neither is, according to this roster, neither is Blackburn. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
He probably hasn't been officially put on the roster yet. That's why.
But then it's got to be Ottavino or McGill, according to this list, or one of the Youngs, like Danny said. It could be one of them. Too. Sure.
Alrighty. With that being said, everybody, enjoy your preseason football. Please, for the love of God, everybody, stay healthy.
Nobody plays anymore, so we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Jordan,
Bubble
that
wrap
means
Malik
Jordan loves
Neighbors
playing
first.
next week. Jordan loves going to earn
Bubble
that.
wrap Malik Neighbors as best as they can.
Malik Neighbors.
And we'll talk to you guys in a couple of weeks.